I'm excited for this Gospel Quest.
Awesome.
We got a lot of questions from the audience
You
for
can see
you.
I'm focusing on the microphone now.
Austin Moore wants to know, what do you think about the future and struggles of crowdfunding, and how does it impact development of a game?
Well, that's a good question. Thank you for asking. What's his name?
Yeah, Austin Moore.
Thank you for asking, Austin Moore. Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding changed our company forever. Hey, crowdfunding changed our. No, I'm really thinking too much about the microphone.
You're too hung up on it now.
I'm just gonna put my mouth on it. When we first did it, it changed our relationship with our community forever. Like you guys have, with your Patreon. You're kind of, did you feel that like, whereas before there was a little bit of a wall, I feel like once you start getting involved in crowdfunding of any kind, it just gets mixed up where they feel like they're making it happen a lot more, and they're like part of the family a lot more than just like, there's just like creators and the fans. It's more like you're this actual community. So that changed things for us forever. And in a positive way, super positive. We did a little differently on Psychonauts 2 because we did the Fig platform, which has the investment part of it. So people actually get to do well if the game does well, get to share it. Because that was our biggest. It was nagging me in the back of the head. There's all this news about how we made these millions of dollars, and some people were like, "Why'd you get all this free money? And what if the game is a big hit? What happens to the people that helped you do it?" And they don't get anything. And so I was like, "Is there any way we can share with people who contributed?" But no, because that's illegal. It's regulated by the SEC. It's actually illegal to do that. And then the laws changed, and they allowed under certain, as long as you're careful about it, you can let that kind of thing happen. So now, when Psychonauts is a huge hit, we'll be able to actually share that with some people, which is gonna be cool.
So Fig, right, comes out and it's big news among our types. A lot of commotion. We're
Handsome
talking
men.
about it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's they're all talking about this Fig deal. What are the differences between using Kickstarter is what you used before, correct? And using Fig from your side of it. Like, have you seen it as a successful platform? Is there like some things that are better on Kickstarter than what you have going on?
Fig was new, so it was a little risky because it was unproven, but it turned out great, and we got half of it were people who wanted to get investment, and half wanted to do it just like I'm just in it to help the game happen and get my copy of the game. So. We would definitely, if we're going to crowdfund again, we would use it again.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Costume Quest 3.
If we want to crowdfund Costume Quest 3.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to have to make one again, because if this animated series is a hit.
We don't have to do anything to give us a $5 check.
I can go get the checkbook right
that's
now.
what
We got the
activates-
Kind of Funny checkbook. We'll get in on the ground floor of this thing.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That's true. Right? Yeah, have you thought about this yet with the cartoon? Where are we at with the merchandising? Or do we have the plushies of those guys?
Yeah, that is a great question.
Just let me know anytime you know. Okay.
All right. But I mean, I just because Halloween just can't. I don't know if you noticed that Halloween. It feels really recent, but I guess it wasn't that recent.
No, it's February. It's really
because
depressing to think about.
I started playing with my Costume Quest, my daughter. I pulled her out of the ice. I was like, "Come and play this game with me." And she's like,
I don't know the fever, Dad.
And we played it, and we didn't. And you played all the way Costume Quest 1 and 2.
Oh,
and
nice.
And every time that happens, I'm like, we should really just keep working on this.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll gladly write it for you.
I mean, everyone told us like the big risk with that game is it's great, but can you take out the Halloween? Like like all these pictures you make, like people always ask you to take out the heart of the thing, but for some reason.
Well, I remember you making a joke about that on, I think, your first Up at Noon, because we gave you a pumpkin mug or whatever, a Halloween mug, and that's why I gave you that one too. But that was the thing of, I think that works to its benefit in a lot of ways, right? Because that's now an annual game.
Every time, I mean, how many seasonal games are there? Like, where I was like, well, it's Halloween, got a Halloween show. How many Halloween games are there to play?
Yeah.
And it comes up, and it starts to feel like a kind of a tradition. Like at our house, like, let's play Costume Quest again. That'd be fun. Yep.
That's good. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, family and traditions.
You could also just rename
and then
it
you finish
Fun
and
Size.
you put her back in the ice.
Next year. Tyler Mitchell wants to know, what's the process for a big funded game like Psychonauts 2?
Process for making it or funding it?
So I assume what he's asking is like, how does the process from when it's a crowdfunded thing, how does it differ from when it's funded from other people?
Well, I mean, this is the first time we've done this kind of throughway partnership. We have a crowdfunding proportion, and then Double Fine now has been around, has a back catalog, and makes revenue. We have our own money, so we're putting in our own money, and then we have a publisher, Starbreeze, coming in to be our publishing partner. So that it's more complicated to figure out the business negotiation stuff, but it really hasn't changed the production of the game at all. We're just like, developing it the same way. The team, it's just that it's a way to have a different relationship with the publisher. Like a publisher's giving you all the money. It changes a lot of stuff. They want to really like make sure you do a lot of risk mitigation things, and they want to have creative input, and they want to change things. And when you're asking for less money, you can kind of get away with do a more creative sounding project. You know what I mean? Like I saw after Brutal Legend, I was like, could we ever do another? It seems like to ask for that much money again to do another Brutal Legend type game, they would want you to take away. They'd be like, oh, that sounds great. Could you take out the heavy metal and take out the combat or something like? They want to kind of sand off the sharp edges on the thing and make it less risky if they're going to give you a bunch of money. But in this way, by taking a smaller portion of the money from 3 different sources, we can still, I feel, have the creative freedom we need to make the game live up to the first game. And find the right partner. But find someone who's like that. Oh, they really like Starbreeze. Really like the first game. So
and I don't know how much you can say on this one, so don't worry if you can't say anything. Just
coming soon.
Thank you very much. For Rhombus of Ruin, are you partnered with PlayStation, or is that totally on your own, or how does that work? Because that's exclusive to PlayStation VR, no?
We're the publisher of it. They funded it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And so for that one, if you can say, how does that kind of deal work? Does that start with you guys going, man, we want to make VR games, and then PlayStation just knocks on the door, or is that PlayStation knocks on the door like, hey, would you guys want to make a VR game?
We wanted to we were like, we want to do a VR game. We want to do a Psychonauts VR game. And then we showed that to a bunch of people.
Oh, nice.
And we're like, which headset looks the coolest?
Right.
Yeah.
Where does Amaris not work? All right, we're not going there.
Yeah, well, there we go.
You just all naming names on the show.
We're an industry pod. I mean, our kids know everybody. Come on now. Throw out a Grimecraft reference. They get it.
It's all friendly, except for that one guy.
Except for Greg Rice.
Except for Blessing. Blessing asks, how does he feel about the common complaints about adventure games, i.e. the solutions to puzzles seeming very random?
Yeah, I mean, adventure games are, they're kind of tough to make it like the window of like, there almost is no window where people feel things are just right. Like, like when you're driving people say like when you're driving, everyone who drives slower than you is an idiot, and everyone who drives faster than you is a maniac. It's like every puzzle in an adventure game, if they beat it, they're like, well, that was pretty easy. That was too easy. As soon as they finish the game, that was too easy. And anything they get stuck on is like, that was too hard. And it's really hard to get in that sweet spot. And you can do it. I feel like a game, it's not an adventure game, but Limbo, that was one of the things I loved about Limbo, is that I felt like, wow, every puzzle I was just on the verge of shooting myself, and I got it.
Yeah.
So I think just a lot of playtesting. They take a lot of playtesting to do. So I think it's hard. There's a group of people who love adventure games, and there's a lot of people who don't like them and probably never like them. And I feel that's one of the interesting things about crowdfunding is that it allows what you would call a niche, or a niche if you're French. Thanks. An underserved. You got to appear in the corner to laff. You got to.
It takes too many buttons to flip for that. That's impossible.
This guy knows what he's talking about. This guy knows what's up. But you can have what would be considered a niche audience still get what it wants.
Sure.
Like, I want an adventure game, and they get what they want because they got organized and they.
Well, that was, I remember your original point when you guys went to Kickstarter the first time was that you felt like there were no publishers who were going to give you money to go make an adventure game.
Well, if you're sitting on a big pile of cash,
sure.
Which I'm sure you are.
I am, of course, yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to invest it in something. The investment question is always, how do I maximize my investment? What will give me the most return? And that's probably when you have a choice between an adventure game and like a first-person shooter. I think I'll make more money over here. And so that decision means no adventure games ever. But if you're looking at it from the other side of like, how do I make an adventure game? Well, I can organize a bunch of people who want it. It still makes sense.
Sure.
So they're back.
They are back. How do you feel? I mean, like that was happening, and then how do you feel about what Telltale became? Because Telltale originally was, and don't get me wrong, I love Telltale. This isn't a knock. Telltale originally was very much like, oh man, how the hell does Sam and Max get out of this jam with a piece of rope and this crap up in the air? You know what I mean? And now it is like, well, what do you want to say to Clementine? All right, you got a trophy. Next on.
Yeah, story and narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a totally valid just branch, much like in the game itself, but like a branch on this evolutionary tree of gaming. I think it is different than what you go through when you're playing a adventure game and puzzle solving. If you look at when your brain gets involved in a puzzle and you're like working it, like I kind of like working and thinking about something until like, aha. Some people don't like that feeling of being like they want to be moving all the time, and so it's different types of play, and I think they're both valid. And I think ours is better. That's all.
I was going to say that's perfect. Just making
sure. Both totally valid.
Ours is just better. Double Fine's better than Telltale. Got it.
Yeah, Luke Polito says, Tim, Will you ever make available the countless pages of world building that you did for Brutal Legend and Grim Fandango?
We know. I wonder if you're talking about my free writing or the world building. I do a lot of backstory stuff, and for Brutal Legend, I wrote this big, like, I was reading a lot of Norse myths, and I loved just those wacky stories about giants and gods doing crazy stuff with Loki. And I wrote the whole story of the world because I wanted to have that as the background to then create the more modern characters that live in that world. And we kind of snuck that into the game. There is this lore element in the game. You can hear these stories of the past. And so we kind of did sneak it in there. But I feel like it's good to hide. Like when you write backstory, it's important to like cover it up and let people look at it like they're looking through a fence, and they see, because if you're looking through a fence and you see a little bit of it, you kind of imagine it to be much even bigger than it is. But if you show everybody, like if I were to type it up and have it be in the game as a book you could read, I think that would just kill it, kill the magic of it.
Yeah.
But the free writing stuff, I'll never release at all because, like, free writing is this thing that they do. Have you ever tried that?
No.
It's fun. You it's from creative writing courses that you sit there with like a spiral notebook and you start a timer and you just write. And the only rule is you can't stop writing, and even if you're not writing complete nonsense.
Gotcha.
And you have to write for like 2 minutes or half an hour or some period of time, and all these kind of weird ideas come out of your head. It's like this unblocking thing, and I do that a lot, and I filled up these notebooks full of that. And the promise you make to yourself is no one will ever read this.
Oh wow!
As long as no one ever reads it, then you can just write. I can complain about people I don't like.
Vulgar.
Yeah, you can say vulgar things over and over again, and so no to that. But
all right,
yeah.
So I don't know.
In summary, no.
I don't know where
answer.
this question comes from, so there might be something I'm just not informed out with this. Chris Moore wants to know, what are your thoughts for an Armored Core game?
Okay,
cool.
Okay,
I was like, I don't know if this might be something like if you're a big fan or something.
It sounds like a cool game. I should play. I haven't really played a lot of Armored Core.
You're not missing much. I said it.
Should I? I should add a little heavy metal to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
it'd
go.
be a great heavy metal game.
So a lot of people asking about things that I'm sure there's not much to say, but
Coming soon.
Ray Briggs 2, well, I don't know, says, constantly ask when Monkey Island 5 is coming out until Tim breaks down and promises to make another one. Kyle Kratz is saying any chance of another Brutal Legend, easily one of my favorite games of last gen.
I never thought I'd make another Psychonauts game, but here we are. So you never know.
Soon.
But that's
Confirmed.
expensive. That's an expensive deal.
Not you listening?
It's not. He's not.
Ramses, aka Ramrod316, wants to know, what do you think about Nintendo Switch?
I'm excited. I pre-ordered one. I tried to pre-order the colored one.
Yeah.
You're a monster.
Red and
Why
the
would
blue.
you do that?
What is that? You don't like
I'm
it?
so not down with it.
It looks so fun.
Now,
the colors.
time out. He's buying. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch you. Time out. He's buying the blue controllers. He's just not buying the mismatched one.
Yeah.
Oh, you hate whimsy.
It's too much.
I agree that it's. I like the blue and I like the red, but I don't like the one of each.
And I get it. Like, and I mean, do you? You know what I mean, Tim? Do you? It's okay. I respect your opinion, even when you're wrong.
I was just like, everything on my shelf is kind of a gray-black color.
Yeah.
Why not have one that looks like a toy? It's fine. I was excited, but then as I was buying it, it got taken out of my basket. It was like that item is no longer available, and I had to get the Greyjoy one.
Well, now you can-
Greyjoy? That's a
Greyjoy.
That's a game of
Theon
Thrones thing.
Greyjoy, yeah.
Theon, I got the Theon Greyjoy.
No cutoff.
But I'm
No.
excited about it. It looks pretty cool. I can't play Zelda.
Do you think you'll make games for it? And I'm trying not to be a leading question. Is that something you guys
I have
are
nothing
interested-
against making games for it.
Yeah.
We like Nintendo.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're doing our games on Unreal, so...
Unreal.
We're
Yeah.
on Unreal. Our 2 Psychonauts games are on Unreal, so if Unreal works on it, that would help. But who knows? I think it's a decision we'll make with our pals in Sweden.
Okay.
Starbreeze.
I gotcha.
The Gang Beasts would be pretty dope
Gangbreeze would be really good.
on Switch. I think they'd be a big
Double Fines presents
community thing.
Gangbreeze?
Gang Beasts?
Oh, okay. Game Beasts. I thought
Gang
you were
Beasts on
making up
Switch?
new game.
No.
games.
Gang Beasts. I just imagine it packs a bunch of people sitting there,
Yeah.
8 players playing.
Number one, isn't there,
Get on it,
Good idea.
isn't
guys.
there a Gang Beast VR mode too supposedly coming? Or is that out now? Is that on the other ones? I know again, we're into like part of the business.
No
that
comment.
isn't- I thought they got announced.
Have you ever met the Gang Beast guys?
A long time ago, before the game was like a thing, like before it became a
the
giant
core team's like
movement.
these 3 brothers in Sheffield, England, and
Like,
at least 2 other friends, but it's like a very humble little, like just really likable little quiet guy. No, they're not little. They're normal sized people.
Yeah,
But it's That guy knows.
There he is. That's it. You got it. You do it too fast. You flash it too fast, Kevin. It's scary.
Can't help it.
But when people are like, "Hurry up with that game," I just think about these
Guys like crying, trying to make
five
it.
guys in Sheffield. Like, I'm trying.
Now, also, this is only a reference. I know because I know how the microphones work for the people in this room. What is up with the BioShock, like 1940s jazz band playing in the other room? You hearing that? It's like,
Yeah, wait, what the hell is that?
what are they listening
you
to
think it's
over
the
there?
comic shop?
have no idea.
It's like
It's them?
It's Nick.
Nick's like
Nick's such a
getting
fucking
in the
weirdo.
Yeah, you
Here's
have
your
a
Ryan
sign on the
headspace.
door that's like on air, like
We're
don't
always
play
on air
your
anyway.
Yeah,
BioShock.
just always doing
Yeah,
so.
we're constantly filming.
Dan Lima has an interesting
Dead
question.
Lima.
Since Tim of Legend hosts the GDC Awards,
Oh.
how do you see the importance and future of serious, recognizable game award shows?
Very interesting. We try to class it up. I wear a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Which I think elevates the entire art form. I'm always torn about that because award shows can be stress people out a lot, and everyone wants to pretend they don't care about awards until they win one. They're like, "This is the best thing. This is the best." But I feel like I like how like the BAFTAs in England. They have a BAFTA for video games. It would be like if we had an Oscar for video games. That's the BAFTAs are the British version of the Oscars, or their own thing. But so I mean, I feel like they treat it like an art, and they and I would love to see that happen more here, which is why I wear a tuxedo.
Yeah, the DICE Awards are going to be pretty good this year.
Yeah, DICE Awards sound like
yeah,
they're gonna be
they've been having trouble finding a good host.
No.
I heard they
They
just
got
couldn't-
Jessica Chobot. It's great. They got a great host.
And
Me, as I drag it down. It's this week.
yeah.
If you're watching
are we going
this.
head to head? If only they're on the same night.
Are they
I know,
streaming?
I like watching you. I like it when it gets to go.
Oh yeah, you
Nathan
gonna come?
Vela screwed me over last year. Couldn't give me a ticket.
Well, you want to come?
Yeah, I wanna come this year.
Sit up by.
Yeah, I was there supporting you that first year. Or not the first year.
first
My
year.
first year that I went. Yeah. Sorry, what do you say?
Is DICE going to be streamed?
Yeah.
The DICE Awards.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You writing on your
Thursday
own?
night?
Are you
I'm
writing on
excited to
your own
see this.
material for that?
No, God, no. I brought in Mike Drucker up at Noon Rider.
Oh,
Remember
why
him?
didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
I always write. I do the same thing. I just get really stressed out. I'll be like, oh, I gotta write. I'm like, it's really only like 20 jokes. I can come up with 20 jokes. That's like 3 jokes a day, and then then I just wait until like 2 nights before and
Oh, God, it's
write.
10 jokes a night now.
Yeah. 10 jokes. That's like 12 good jokes and some filler.
Final question in this segment.
No, they're all gonna be gold, you guys. They're all come to Wednesday night.
Matthew Ash wants to know, how does it feel knowing that you created some of the most iconic games to date?
Oh, Matt Ash, thank you very much. It's a great honor. It's a great honor. I mean, that's what that's what we do it for, right? So to make something that matters to someone. So that's awesome.
Has
And if there's anything iconic about them, like say the look of them, that just means that a bunch of other people got involved. I'm pulling out my phone because it's got some bootleg money
Whoa!
on it.
Yeah, that's
But,
not even
like,
something you really sell, right?
I can't sell this.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Don't tell them where I got that. But this like so many great artists come together to make those games and sound designers and programmers and stuff. So it's an honor.
How is that
It's a lot of responsibility.
adjustment been for you? I feel like, well, back in the day when I won my game award, you know what I mean? I gave that speech, and I know this sounds like I'm going to a joke, but I'm really not.
No, you're just like remember that time I won the award?
Before they
to talk about
trashed
that
it up
once
and
a
gave it
show.
to Boogie. Before when the award meant something. I love you, Boogie. I'm joking around, Kevin. Boogie knows. But when I gave that speech, that stemmed from the fact that I think it's kind of fucked up, right? That like I'm well known for talking about video games, but the people who make video games, by and large, aren't known. They don't get stopped in the street like I do. For some, or people pass by in the Uncharted 4 dev shirt at PSX, and people are more excited to meet me and call them than them. They don't understand that that's that relationship. You've done that thing where you've crossed over, where I feel like, and Kickstarter is a big part of it and how that all went with Double Fine. But the point where like, when I see you walk a show floor, people stop and want to talk to you and know you. But you remember what it was like on the other side, right? When you're making these games and no one knows you're involved. Like
I was like, what the hell's wrong with this?
what?
People gonna start recognizing me. I'm here. I'm obviously hot shit. Why isn't anyone telling me that?
Has it been weird to adjust to though? That suddenly people like know you and they know that you made this.
I think it's a lucky. It's a lucky level of because it's not like someone who's actually famous. Say Brad Pitt.
Sure.
Slightly more famous.
Mizzou grad, or he's one credit short, but he's
Like he can't. I don't know what it's like for actual really famous people. Like they can't really enjoy certain things. They can't.
Right.
Like I get to just be totally anonymous most of the time. But at an event like a GDC or an E3, there's a collection of people who know who you are more, and so you can kind of choose to go there. If you sometimes you just really, I think I really need to be famous for a second. You can go on the floor and be like, hey everybody, and not that I need that, right?
Walk through the indie booth and you're like giving them tips and stuff. Oh, let me tell you how to tighten up the graphics in this one.
So no, but it's really like we're really lucky. I think we're both all really lucky that I think the people who are in our community and like us, it's they're just really like they're just like a big warm hug all the time.
Yeah,
like you don't get a lot of like if you're a football star, I think you get people like an equal number of people who cursing your name and I think sports. That's what sports are
people,
like.
People like sports people.
People get people. Your fans turn on you. It seems like there's a lot of
sure. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah. But I think everyone who is on our communities is all just like it's much more familial and it's much more like when you go to PAX or a show where it's or maybe now E3 like where it's the community gets to come. It's just a lot of good vibrations.
Oh.
So that's what it feels like.
All right. Okay.